KVU News at 5 starts with breaking news out of Houston here on this Tuesday.
A man is dead after being shot by federal agents on the city's east side. ICE officials say they were trying to make a traffic stop and the man tried to run them over.
Officials say he rammed their vehicle and then tried to weaponize his car against an officer before a federal agent shot him. Our news partners in Houston say the man, later identified as Lorenzo Salgado Araujo, died at a nearby hospital.
The FBI is now leading this investigation. Well, state lawmakers appear to be gearing up to take another run at cracking down on THC in consumable hemp products.
That is the chemical in marijuana that gets you high. Last year, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick wanted a full ban on these products. Lawmakers passed it, but the governor vetoed it and later issued an executive order to regulate the industry.
KVU's Daniel Perot is live at the Texas Capitol. Daniel, today lawmakers heard testimony that those regulations just aren't enough.
That was the common theme in a lot of the invited testimony that state lawmakers heard today, that regulation will never work and the only answer is a full ban. State Senator Charles Perry said today that he does plan to try to get one passed again in 2027 because he says taxpayers are at a point where they cannot afford to keep paying the bill and funding the cost of all the issues that he says comes from THC. He wants to force the hemp industry to cover all those costs through things like the license fees that they pay. By increasing the cost of doing business, Perry says that he hopes to put them essentially out of business. The costs Perry is talking about are things like healthcare costs for people who use THC products and then need medical attention afterwards, as well as the long-term effects like THC-induced psychotic disorder, addiction, schizophrenia, or cognitive impairments. The state health department currently does not track those kinds of conditions or illnesses. But a pediatric ER doctor told state lawmakers today that he's been alarmed by the rise in young people that he's seen coming in after using a THC product.
We're seeing so much more of in our emergency departments that it's unmasking or causing this mental illness. I can't say I've seen a 17-year-old with a cocaine addiction, but I've certainly seen them with a marijuana addiction and then subsequently having the psychosis from that.
The rules and increased business fees tied to Governor Greg Abbott's executive order are facing a legal challenge, but they are in effect for now. Law enforcement officers say they simply do not have enough resources to regulate the level of THC in products properly, and testing is expensive for departments to conduct effectively. UNT researcher Matthew Rosheim says in other states, regulation has only resulted in changes to packaging and labeling.
It doesn't change consumer behavior. They'll cut it into smaller pieces or add more servings on the label. In some states where they have total per container of 5 milligrams, they'll use THCP, which is being marketed as 33 times more potent than regular Delta-9 THC.
Hanging over all of this, new federal hemp rules are set to take effect in November. It caps total THC at 0.3% on a dry weight basis and caps hemp-derived cannabinoid products at 0.4 milligram total THC per container. The U.S. Hemp Roundtable estimates that will mean roughly 95% of existing hemp-derived cannabinoid products will be illegal, so that would substantially change the market nationwide for these hemp-derived products ahead of the next legislative session. As you can imagine, the hemp industry already pushing back quite heavily. They have made the case that if you take these products off the legal market, people will still find a way to access them through unregulated means, which would be less safe. We'll have to see where state lawmakers land on all of this in 2027. At the Texas Capitol, Daniel Perot, KVU News.
Daniel, thank you. Well, tomorrow that same Senate committee will meet again to talk about what some Republican lawmakers say is a growing issue: foreign nationals using Texas surrogates to have children. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick directed the committee to explore ending the practice, and the state Republican Party included a ban on it in its party platform, saying foreign families use Texas surrogates to secure birthright citizenship for their kids. But some surrogacy experts warn this could be the first step toward restricting fertility services for all Texans, including those struggling with infertility. The Texas Senate Health Committee will hear testimony tomorrow starting at 8:30 in the morning.
Well, this all comes as Governor Greg Abbott orders an immediate investigation into a South Texas hospital Accused of marketing to foreign nationals, the directive targets Mission Regional Medical Center, alleging the facility is advertising birth packages abroad in order to profit from what officials call birth tourism. The governor says American citizenship isn't for sale and wants the state health agency to check for any law violations. If proof of wrongdoing is found, the hospital could face fines or even criminal prosecution, with the governor promising tougher state laws to stop the practice during the next legislative session. KVUE reached out to Mission Regional Medical Center. They sent us the following statement, reading that the hospitals across the country and throughout the region share information about the health care services provided. It goes on to say, quote, the marketing materials regarding maternity services are no longer in use due to any unintended misunderstanding, and they plan to work cooperatively with local and state officials.
All right, time now to talk about the weather. Chief Meteorologist Hunter Williams joining us now with just how hot it is outside.
It has been hot out there. It has been the same story day after day, Hunter.
It really has been. We just got our preliminary high temperature for today. Does anybody want to take a guess? I guess I should stand over this. 98 degrees. That's a good guess because we've hit that several times now this month, and this still is our hottest temperature so far of 2026, but we're sitting at 98. So when we get the final update, there's a chance that could go up to 99. It is 99 in Bastrop right now, 98 in Lockhart. It is 97 in San Marcos. So here's where we've been so far this month of July. Again, kind of amazing. We've hit 97 or 98 every single day this month, like 97, 97, 98, 97, 97, 98, 98. So all 7 days have been above average. Tomorrow, though, I have updated our forecast where I think we could go even higher. First off, this evening, we'll go down to about 76 tonight. We do have a 20% chance for very hit or miss evening showers or storms, then dry overnight. It'll be just a partly cloudy sky. And then for tomorrow, we have 99 now in the forecast. And from there, we'll actually drop into the mid-90s by the weekend as rain chances ramp up a little bit more. We'll talk much more about it, guys, coming up in just a few minutes.
All right. Thank you, Hunter. We'll see you in just a little bit.
All right.
I'm KVUE's Brianna Pettis in Northeast Austin, where Roxanne Paltov's family is continuing their search for their loved one 20 years after she disappeared. Coming up on KVUE News at 6, the new effort they're launching in hopes of generating fresh leads and why they believe it will finally bring them the answers they've been waiting for.
Austin officials released a new tool today aimed at keeping longtime residents from being pushed out of their neighborhoods due to rising costs.
Yeah, city leaders created a new displacement story map using data to pinpoint where people are most at risk of losing their homes. The plan outlines 15 strategies to help families stay, including direct financial aid for home repairs and rental assistance.
City leaders say they want to make sure that as Austin grows, investment doesn't create a future that original residents can no longer afford. The map is live online for anyone to view right now. We do have a link to it on our website. Just go to kvue.com/links. First responders in Pflugerville are testing their readiness for an active shooter.
Today and tomorrow, the Pflugerville Fire Department is hosting training with the city's police department alongside Travis County Sheriff's Office and fire marshals.
KVUE's Adam Bennett shows us what the changes they're incorporating to hopefully save lives.
Moments ago, police officers, firefighters, and medics from several departments just finished up a debrief after training. They say they are building the relationships and building that muscle memory so that they are ready just in case the worst should ever happen.
Man, what's your name? Adrian. Remember what happened?
This is only a drill. 2 days, 4 agencies, and repeat run-throughs on how to stop an active attack and minimize injuries and death.
These things are common, and we want to be prepared and ready should this happen.
Trevor Stokes is with Travis County ESD2, aka Pflugerville Fire Department. They're hosting this annual joint training on Tuesday and Wednesday at their facility east of town.
This is the perfect time of year for us to do that. School's obviously out right now, so the officers that work in those schools, they're not having to patrol those schools on the regular.
We watched this simulated school shooting response, complete with realistic graphic injuries. We are choosing not to show those. Officials have also asked that we not play audio here to limit sharing law enforcement tactics. Stokes says these drills work in lessons learned from past school shootings. A big one, making sure fire, police, and EMS all practice the same techniques and all go directly to the victims together once the shooter is down.
That's been a huge change. The evolution of medical care and treatment has also changed. You're seeing law enforcement agents, officers, detectives, doesn't matter who they are, they're carrying medical gear on them on the daily.
Next, a post-drill debrief to talk takeaways and tweak tactics to stop the shooter more quickly and save more students and staff. In eastern Travis County, Adam Bennett, KVUE News.
Governor Greg Abbott is launching a new commission focused on putting teachers at the center of education reform.
He says the new Texas Classroom Commission will gather recommendations directly from teachers to improve instruction and support.
The governor says empowering educators on the front lines will help Texas become the #1 state for educating kids. The panel is expected to deliver its findings before the 90th legislative session convenes in January. And the governor says this new commission is in direct response to recent changes in how Texas schools are funded and ran.
Earlier this year, the legislature passed pay raises for teachers and gave educators more authority to manage their own classrooms.
But officials admit despite the money, teachers still face daily challenges with curriculum, discipline, and student needs.
The commission is designed to close that gap by taking recommendations straight from the front lines, ensuring that policy decisions match what teachers actually see happening in their classrooms every day. President Trump is wrapping up his first day of discussions at this year's NATO summit.
Yeah, but some are concerned he may lift sanctions on Turkey and possibly sell them F-35 fighter jets. Plus, several blocks of Midtown Manhattan evacuated for fear a building might collapse. We'll have more on that when we come back.